this episode. This episode of Naruto Shippuden. It's like, I don't know what the level is for how bad a filler episode can get. But it's right there. I mean, this episode was so bad, none of it made sense. So as I'm explaining this, just be aware that it's going to be a lot of really, really logical things happening. But yeah, this is episode 449 of Naruto Shippuden. And here we go. So the first thing that happens is all the ninja teams, like Naruto, Hinata, Shino, all of those people, they're all teaming up to find Sasuke. They got the news that Sasuke killed Orochimaru. And they're thinking, oh yeah, he's gonna come back to the village. No, he's not coming back to the village. In fact, he's helping the Akatsuki attack the Kage of different villages. So they're gonna go after him. Jiraiya is there too. I thought for some reason Jiraiya was dead. I don't know why at all. Because he's never been around a lot, this filler. And so he's randomly there again. So they're gonna all help each other. They're gonna find him. Meanwhile, Sasuke is with the Akatsuki. And Sasori has built this huge puppet army. If you thought his 100 puppets was big enough in the canon episodes, this is way bigger than that. It replaces the Zetsu army because it's the same exact area that they're in, where the Zetsu army was. But now it's the puppet army. So Sasuke disagrees with what the Akatsuki wants to do. Sasuke has his own agenda. And he's thinking, I want to go pursue it instead. So he disbands from the Akatsuki. He goes his own way. While he's leaving, Itachi appears before him. Now, the weird thing is, Itachi died, if you don't remember from the last fillers that we had. Itachi was killed by Sasuke's hand, and he turned into a ghost and flew away. But no, here's Itachi. He appears right before him. I don't think it's a genjutsu. I literally think it's him, and he tells Sasuke that he tells him to really think about what he's doing, really think about what he wants. Sasuke is surprised, like, Itachi, what are you doing here? I thought you died. And Itachi says, my wounds healed. I had to wait for my wounds to heal before coming to see you again. And I'm thinking, what wounds? You died, and not only did you die, you turned into a ghost and flew away. So how did you go from a person, to a ghost, back to a person, like actually alive? Like, it makes no sense at all. I was laughing when he said that. When he said, my wounds healed. What wounds? You were dead. You were a ghost floating away. But yeah, and then he goes away. He doesn't fly away again, but he turns into those crows, and he's gone. So I don't know what that was about exactly. Next thing that happens is that the Akatsuki confronts all the ninja teams that are trying to find Sasuke. And I gotta say, the animation in this episode was horrible. Like, I could have done better in a lot of these episodes, and I'm not that great of a drawer myself. A lot of people's faces were like smashed, the eyes were like cross-eyed or drawn very plainly. The people themselves were drawn very, very simplistic. Very bad animation. But yeah, they're going to confront the Akatsuki. The Akatsuki are confronting them. They're both going to fight. They're about to fight when Sasuke comes out of nowhere. And he deactivates these landmines that DeGRA put into the ground. He just comes in and electrifies all of them. So Sasuke now is going to help fight against the Akatsuki. So we're getting a parallel of like the war arc and Sasuke fighting against the Ten Tails. And now, in this one, they're fighting against the Akatsuki. So it's really strange how it's working out. But Team 7 is fighting Sasori just like Sasori is Kaguya. Because they do it the same way. Sakura's coming down from above, Naruto and Sasuke from the sides. It's really, really strange how they're doing this parallel. But they fight Sasori a little bit. They break his shell and he comes out and there's Sasori in real. And then what happens is Sasori reanimates. He uses the reanimation jutsu, which I've never seen Sasori do that ever. And he animates a bunch of puppet users to use all the hundreds and hundreds of puppets that he created. So we see this huge, just overwhelming amount of puppets towering over the characters. And when they think all is lost, here comes more shinobi, like Minato, Gaara, all of these people all come to save the day. And now they're all gonna fight. So Sasori brings out his next weapon, which is former Kage, because now they're dead. They got the Rai Kage, Tsuchi Kage, and the Miso Kage are all there, and they're puppets. I don't know how he killed the Rai Kage, honestly. That would have been the most difficult one, but he somehow killed all of them, and turn them into puppets. So now he's using them with their jutsu against the people, against the shinobi. Just when you thought that it couldn't get any more random than Itachi going from a ghost to back to a human, and for the Kage to be puppets, now we got Team Jiraiya showing up. We got Konan, we got Jiraiya, and who do we got? Nagato. Nagato is still alive somehow. Didn't he die when he undid that jutsu? I mean, he was acting like he was dying. He was all hooked up to those machines. He was skinny, like deathly skinny. He had those rods stuck in his back. But now he's perfectly healthy. He can walk just fine. He looks like he's brand new. And he's there to kick some butt. And it's like, what is going on in this episode? Like, it was so random. Like, what's he doing there? How is he okay? Why was he chained up to those machines in the first place if he's perfectly fine now? And nothing in this episode makes sense at all. So, all of them together defeat Sasori. Basically, it was Naruto and Sasuke, because everybody else was fighting the puppets or whatever. But Sasuke uses his flame control Amaterasu, and Naruto uses the Rasen Shuriken. They combine it. It hits Sasori. He dies. That's the end. The next thing to happen is that Sasuke is standing with Naruto on this hill or whatever, and he reveals to Naruto his plan to become the Hokage and to change the village. Basically the same kind of stuff that you heard him say in the manga before he fights Naruto in the Final Valley. And so we know the next episode is going to be Naruto versus Sasuke again in this filler. It looks actually pretty good. I was looking at the animation and it looks actually really, really good. So hopefully we get a decent fight to get us out of these fillers, because we're coming up into March pretty soon, and that's when the Itachi fillers are going to start. So we'll see how it goes. But this episode, I would give this episode probably a 30%, because it was absolutely horrible. Like, I was laughing, not because it was funny, but because it was so ridiculous in the logic and the random things that were happening, that was the only thing that I got out of it, pretty much. So, tell me what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and have yourselves a great one.